what are we doing? Trying to define what we need to do to actually like rewrite all this stuff. I think let me just kind of dive into things a little bit here. Um, is it going to make sense to have a media index as a state? Probably not. We probably just calculate that based on the playhead and looking at what's in the media list. I think what I will do I'm gonna delete all of this. Yeah. Well, that's gonna go away. I'm gonna remove our temporary like testing handle stuff there. And I'm not gonna pass the video anyway, so that doesn't matter. Find that. We're not going to directly call on end here. We're going to call on video ended. We need to define that. We'll have a playback percentage here that we're going to define. And then the duration is actually just going to be the overall duration. The length, in other words, number, maybe even the right number. Okay. So I think my strategy here is going to be define this portion of markup of this like JSX of like TSX, whatever. The thing, like this is the interface between like all the stuff below it in the component tree and what this component is going to do. So here I'm going to define what the interface is for video player controls, and kind of then also in the process define what the functions are, like the callback handlers I need to implement in here are going to be. So this is going to be like on play, except it's not going to be that. It's just going to be like handle play, handle pause. We're not going to have, actually it could be really cool to have like a seek backward, seek forward and video player controls. But I'm not doing that right now. So let's not bite off a different project. So do I want... So because video player controls is no longer going to have any state in it, I think what I'll do is I'll say on pause toggle. I like this kind of like handle pause toggle, like doing things like that. And then on mute toggle. So anyway, so what I was just saying is that there's not going to be any state. So like paused is maybe let's just call it like this. Playing is playing. Muted is muted. Right, so we're passing in the state so that the UI element can show, you know, a played button or a pause button, a mute button, an unmute button, loop. Yeah, looping is looping on loop toggle, handle loop toggle. Speed equals speed on speed change, handle speed change. What's the other thing? I had a list of things here. So we don't need the current like point in time of the playhead. For player controls, we're handling that here in what we're passing into video player progress bar. Speed, playing, loop, muted, full screen. That's the other one. Okay, so that's going to define kind of what state we need to pass into this, and how do we handle the state being changed by the player controls. So what does this look like? Like, do I make a separate, do I do something where I just say like is playing, is like that? Maybe so. So what do I do with that information, right? So what we need to do is we need to react to these different state values changing. In a couple, well, we need to react to when the state values change by updating the current video to have it reflect that. Yeah, stepping back a little bit, I think the way of thinking about what this change, a portion, like a slice of what this change represents, is that with React, you have kind of, when you're talking about how React components interact with like inputs or other kinds of native like DOM controls, like video elements, inputs, whatever, you have uncontrolled versus controlled, right? So uncontrolled things, you just like, you can give initial values to the thing, and then the elements do whatever they normally do, and then you can get information back. You can get like callbacks, like, oh, this is what happened, or you can, yeah, versus a controlled element in which you are having, you're saying it's this value and not allowing kind of the native behavior to happen. Instead, you have a bunch of however many callbacks you need to get whatever the user interaction is with that component, with that element, and then you calculate whatever and you update the state and you tell the component, okay, well now you should have the value. So an example would be like an input, right? A controlled input, you set the value of the input to be an empty string, and then you have a callback. When the user hits a key, the callback is executed. You take whatever key press was entered and you add it to that empty string, and you have a new string. You set that as the value. And that's kind of what I'm doing here, right? Where I'm saying, okay, before, a lot of the state was actually inside of the video elements, and it was just doing whatever, and we were reading things back out. This is sort of like that. It's a little bit more complicated here because we still, I guess we are going to get a callback. Yeah, I think that metaphor works. So I'm not going to implement the rest of these right now, except maybe I'll do. Let's see. So we'll do like function handlePauseToggle. No, we wouldn't do that. That's not what we're doing here. We are doing set is playing. We're just toggling it, right? So when on pause toggle is called by video player controls, it's taking whatever playing is and it's inverting it. That is a choice to do it that way. Because, the other way of doing it is to say, okay, we're saying whether we're playing or not. You tell me, do you want to set it to be playing or to have this take a Boolean value of the play state. Does it matter? Maybe. Hey, Brainless, how's it going? Yeah, so what am I doing? Same old, writing tests. Tests are good. I like tests. How am I? I'm doing good. I just spent the last hour trying to figure out how I was going to do this refactor. And I think I know. At least I think it's possible to do. Which midway through the first hour of the stream, I was not really sure if it was going to work. Okay, so what am I doing? We need to let's see. Let's change this. We'll say handle time update. Nope. Handle time. There we go. But yeah, doing good. Just another Sunday morning. Looking forward. Oh, I don't have it on this set of screens, but it's less than 3 weeks until my time off starts, and that's gonna be really great. So function handle time update. What is this? What is this supposed to do? Yeah, it's nice. So right, we do need a little bit more state. We need let's call it playhead. Is that playhead time? Yeah, set playhead time. So when the component loads, we're gonna assume that we're at the beginning of the set of videos, right? And when we handle time update, what is let's see, what does this do? Ooh. Yeah, cool. No. Video ended. Sure. What is the actual type signature of this? That's not very helpful. Okay, let's go to search MDN. Yeah, it's a real thing. Maybe in here. Is that not a thing? Is this a hallucinated thing? It's not, right? Let's see. Somewhere I had the video out there. Let's see. Events. Oh, I mean, right. So it's a React thing, right? Because this is React exposing a way to give us a function. I don't know, but it is an event that happens, right? Time update. Yes. Event type, a generic event. Great. So presumably it's fired when the time indicated by current time attribute has been updated. Okay. Think about this. So it doesn't tell us how much time has elapsed, which I can appreciate why that might be challenging. Maybe not helpful. So what we need to do is somehow update the playhead time based on the elapsed time of the current video. Which does mean, okay. thing that is really appealing to me right now is like, oh, if I had the current video file, the index, right, into media, as state, then I can just look at that. But that's effectively caching, right? It it could be something that would be fairly simple to do, but it is an extra thing. So let's not do that yet, and let's just say, okay, so we know we're gonna get this. I'm just gonna ignore all the stuff Copilot is throwing at me because it's all like, oh, you have a video ref, you want to do stuff with the video ref. No, I don't. So don't need that right now. Okay, so handle time update. What we want to do is we want to say media index. Okay, so what is the actual type here? Media file. So we have a length and an offset. Right, how much time has elapsed in? Oh, right. So that's very convenient, right? Because then we'll be able to say find index where m.offset. We do. Excuse me. So we do just need to have the video elements. Yeah. Let's make this simpler by saying if we don't have video ref current, just return, and then we don't need that. Okay. If it's null, then return. Come on now. Look. Why can't you see that? That's impossible. It's not possibly null. Because if it was null, we would return. What version of TypeScript are we on? Uh, 5.5.3. This wasn't this something that got fixed in or improved upon, shall we say, recently? Maybe not for find index. So let me actually think about what this is actually doing before we go further. So the offset of a given thing is where that particular media file, that video, starts in the whole time stream. So if we're looking like at the first video, offset will be 0. Oh, right. So this is not going to be sufficient, right? Because the first thing is going to be less than the current. No, that doesn't work. Oh, right. We don't need this anyway. We're not after the current time. We're after playhead time. And specifically, we're looking for actually the last video where this is true. Is that true? Or starting from the right-hand side, going through other videos until this is true? Yes, because they should be a assumption and a thing we should be, I think, reasonably asserting is that the order of the media files is from first to last. Otherwise, this doesn't work. Is there a find index right? Find last index. There we go. Returns the index of the last element in the array where the predicate is true, otherwise -1. Okay. And we don't. No, we do need the video ref. Yeah. So how is this gonna work? Right, so now we found, here is the media file that we're currently playing. How is that relevant? Well, yeah, bail out if we didn't find the file. Probably a console error. Let's do that. Yeah, I guess we can do that. And then that's cute, but that's not what we're trying to do. What we want to know is, we have this. We know it's offset. So with respect to the overall playtime, the media file that we're currently playing started at time m.offset, or media item.offset. And then the video ref.current time is the value after that offset. Yes. Dot offset plus current time is the correct set playhead time. Ooh. Actually, that might be a good one. So offset is the amount of time in milliseconds that elapsed before that item. Current time is the number of seconds in the playback position of this particular video. So we need to multiply it by 1,000 and add offset, and that's the new playhead time. Now, let's see. Can we get a nice explanation of... synchronize. Hey, Reggie? Reggie? Taking a stab at it. Hello. I'm doing well. How are you? Let's see. So, what is the purpose of this callback? This synchronize is a fancy word, but let's say updates playhead time based on the video's current time relative to the media item is currently playing within the overall media list. There we go. What am I working on? And you're good. I'm glad to hear that. So this is going to be kind of, I mean, I think video editor is kind of overselling it. Also, the UI is broken right now because I'm in the middle of a refactor. But the idea is that this is going to be something that's going to... Wish I had a screenshot. Can we, what if I were to stash my changes really quick? That would mean that we have, with this a tiny thing, a septillion times smaller than the tiny planet it lives on. It's always much easier to talk about things when, all right, hold on. When you have something that actually works to show, for some definition of work. So this is kind of the UI piece of a thing that's going to let me take loads. Oh right, I stopped the dev server. Hold on, there we go. That doesn't help either. So the idea is this first portion of the software, right, is a thing that lets me take videos from my stream and collects like information from chat history, from a speech to text transcription of what I said during the stream, and does some like AI, does some like LLM stuff to surface interesting things, to kind of make a thing to help me do edits and make like edited video content. So this part of the UI is kind of the first third of it, which is like surfacing information, letting me review kind of what it has, letting me either, you know, take these like highlighted areas and update what they're about, or change the time frame. Then the next part of this that I haven't really started working on yet is to then provide a way in a single tool to take those kind of highlights or those sections from the video and put them together and stitch them together into one video and render it out and to upload to YouTube to make more edited kind of content from what I'm streaming, especially like for the coding streams, but maybe at some point for the gaming stuff I do as well. So it's kind of meta in that it's you know, it's a thing that I'm streaming about that is helping me with the stuff I'm streaming about. Yeah, I'm glad you think so. It's something I've been working on like for the better part of a year now, in various aspects. So a lot of the stuff up until the last month or two has been very focused on like Rust backend stuff to like do the speech to text, do the uploading to YouTube, doing all those things. And then a few streams ago, I was doing more like, I need to actually set the stuff in AWS, so it's just not running on my computer, and kind of making some progress. That's actually what this video that's currently on screen is about. And then the last couple, like the past stream and this stream, is then more focused on this new UI that is imperfect, but it's something that I'm, you know, I actually need a UI to be able to like use all this stuff. So there we go. So let me undo those changes, and I want to it's dash pop, right? Yes. Imagine me like destroying this dash. Okay, so presently what I'm doing is doing I wouldn't call it actually a refactor. I think I used that word before, but generally I reserve the word refactor for like when you have unit tests and then you're changing the code in a way the tests still pass, like you're or you're updating it, you know, that kind of TDD style work. And that's not what I'm doing here because I've not written a lot of tests for this, because tests are really great. I really like tests. I don't necessarily like writing tests, especially like UI ones. And yeah, so I'm not. So I'm doing a big kind of like reorg of what this video player does, so that I can have multiple video files and I can play one after the other and treat it as like one big video. And apparently that's not something the native HTML video element can do by itself. So I am making a thing that will handle that. So the first part of that is like I have a list of media files. Well, maybe not the first part, but a part of that is I have a list of these media files, and I am wanting to keep track of where we are and playing, like second by second, millisecond by millisecond, even where we are playing, so that ooh, that's a good point. So the playhead time, its value. Do I want to say this is playhead time ms or milliseconds or something? Playback. Let's see. Playhead time in milliseconds. It's worth noting because that's what we're doing. We're taking the current time of the currently playing video, converting it into milliseconds, and adding it to like where did the current video file start. So like when we're on the very first video, media item will be the first video because media index will be 0. um, because that'll be the first place where the offset will be less than or equal to. Actually, is that true? So m.offset on the first item will be 0. Oh, well, that'll definitely be less than or equal to playhead time. Yes. If there are multiple videos, we would have to have the playtime be greater than. No. Okay. We don't need to go through this again. I'm pretty sure this is accurate, and this would be an error. This is I think the only way this is possible is that if media was an empty list. And then, or if playhead time was negative, or some other weird state. Not impossible, but not kind of normal operation. Okay, and then we get the media item, we set playhead time. That's all well and good. So when this is working and it's like playing a video, it is going to play the first video, theoretically, although that's not hooked up yet. How is this going to work? Just ignore the errors. This is stuff I have not hooked up yet. Okay, so when this renders the first time, right? We do a bunch of stuff. We say playhead time is 0. So we're at the beginning of the time stream. And then we are going to, none of this stuff runs, right? It's just functions. This video element renders, and it doesn't have src. How does it know the video file? I guess we can still. We can use this logic. Like if we know the playhead time, which we do, we can always use the playhead time to get the media item, the item from the media array that should be playing. Let's refactor this into a no, I don't want to do any of those things. Let's say we have a new function. Let's say const media item equals get media item for time, and then I think I'll have it take both of those arguments. And then we take this code and we move it out. Let's have a. Yeah, you could do that. That logic is wrong in a lot of ways. Timeless. Okay, yeah, no, we wouldn't want to do that anyway. It's going the wrong direction. Pretty sure this is the right logic for this. And there we go. Okay, so now if I want this to work the way I want it to, instead of returning, I need to throw. Or I have to like have a check in the caller as well. We'll just have it throw. That will guarantee that it will always return a thing that I've called a media file, that type. Okay. And why would I want that? Well, what I want to do is I want to say const media item, get media item for time, and then src equals media item URL. This is really interesting. I think what I'll do is I'm gonna quickly like sketch out Like I'm gonna define all the rest of the state and then update things so that we stop having errors, and then maybe we can actually see, does it even play the first video? How does it work? What does it do? So is looping, set is looping, speed, full screen. Okay, and then handle mute toggle, handle loop toggle, handle speed change, maybe is what I want. So there we go. Okay. So then playback percentage is interesting. Do I want to do it this way? Or do I want to just pass in the playhead and have it seek to a value? Like simplifying the number of ways we're handling things rather than having this deal with percentages and nowhere else. I can do something like this. It's just like seek to, which we won't have implemented yet. So then this becomes like playhead or something. Playhead time. This becomes seek to. I mean, we're already passing duration, so it knows like the. Also, length is not the best name for this attribute. Okay, so ignoring that, let's go over to video player controls, and we're gonna rewrite this. Right, so we have much differences. No longer have any of these things. Let's make sure that when we initialize our speed, it's 1. Good. Is playing false, is muted, is looping, is okay, good. And then all of this use effect stuff goes away as well. It's not needed. Yeah, I think a lot of this goes away because we're just getting rid of kind of the internal state of this, right? We're moving the state up, and so this becomes a much simpler component where the props look like plain, boolean, on pause toggle, muted. Oh, go. All right, and then on mute toggle, yep. Looping on loop toggle, yeah, I guess that's consistent. Speed on speed change, yeah, new speed, full screen, on full screen toggle. All right, and then make everything else work. So instead of having video at current time, we have, what am I missing here? Oh yeah, we do want playhead time past the video player controls as well. Except playhead time is in milliseconds. So we'll do const like seconds equals that. Yeah, that's fine. All right, and then I need all of these things. Is that all of them? Maybe. So. And this could potentially be refactored now because it's the same. Like the only thing that changes here is what? Oh, just the like the text here, right? Whatever. Not gonna bother changing it right now. Muted. On mute toggle. Looping. Loop toggle. Interesting. On full screen toggle. Wait. Just do this. Okay. Speed and on speed change. Okay. Seems fine. No more red squigglies in video player controls. All right, and then video player progress bar. We also need to update. We change playback percentage to play head time. Changed seek2 percentage to just be seek2. Milliseconds. Which is fun because I think earlier in the stream I had renamed these things to make them clear what they are, and then we're just gonna get rid of that. So we have to do a little bit of calculation here, right? So let's focus on this. Right, so we need to seek2 rather than a percentage. Progress here is, a fraction, right? A fraction of duration. Yes. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. And then playback percentage. We can just calculate here. Play head time divided by duration. So how far are we in as a ratio times 100 gets us a percentage. And then just one warning. Let me I added a task here to run biomelet. Just some warnings. Actually, what was really fun with this task setup for VS Code was trying to figure out. I had never dealt with a tool where it didn't output. At least I don't think so. Where it didn't output a standard ESLint output format, right? So I had to make a regex and tell it to use the GitHub reporter so that I would have all the information. Anyway, side thing. So this is no longer broken. And I might actually be able to... Nope. Video does not play. But at least it doesn't error. It does error. Let's reload. How many errors do we get here? None, just starting. Playback and play. Okay. So it doesn't play. The bar here is kind of interesting. Is that milliseconds? What's going on here? Interesting. Okay, so some things to figure out. I think one thing, so where we're using playhead time is in milliseconds. Duration is probably also in milliseconds. Right. Also, we don't need that console log there anymore. How do I want to deal with this? All of the numbers are basically in milliseconds. But what's happening? So set hover time. Sets hover time. Hover time gets converted into a thing that gets formatted. I think everything is fine except for this. I think all I need to do, all I need to do is divide this by 1,000. That will be, there we go, reasonable-ish. It's minutes and seconds here, right? So it's a 111 minutes, 6-second long video, apparently. Oh, right, because it's both videos together. Yes, that's right. But why doesn't this work? Well, because we don't play the video. Like, we've not hooked up anything. It's like when we call handlePauseToggle, right? We just change the state of these things, but we don't have anything that relates the state change to the actual video. So how do we do that? Well, you use a use effect. Yeah. I think so. I can implement these things too. This should be easy enough because we're just setting playhead time to the number of milliseconds. And then seek2 is the same thing. In fact, what is, oh, I see. We can just pass set playhead time. Get rid of seek2. Yeah, so that'll be very similar to what we had in video player controls before, except because we have the ref directly, we don't have to worry about like doing the workaround that I did last stream, I'm pretty sure. It's like if we do use effect, I suspect this is not going to do the right thing. Yeah, so if we don't have a current video, we just skip, and then we say, hey, if is playing, video ref.current.play. Probably don't want to do that. We probably want to do something like, if we're paused and it should be playing, then do that. And if not is playing, and if we aren't playing, is playing here is throwing me, right? So if the state that we desire to be in is one in which we are not playing, is what we're really trying to say here. So that might be a good rule of thumb. If you have to like rephrase what the code is saying to explain what's going on, maybe you need a comment. Let's see. And then otherwise we just synchronize whatever information here. So now can I play? Yeah. That works. And I can pause. Why is this highlighted? Okay, well, anyway, play. Seek2, oh, and it's broken. Full screen doesn't work because that's not that is the thing where we need to like have something if is full screen, and yeah, that's a function. Is there a thing to ask if we are full screen? Do I really care about having full screen? Probably not. I don't think that's actually a use case I care about. So one of the great things about working on a project in which you are the user, you're like, I don't think I need this. It just dies. We're just gonna get rid of it. And I don't have to worry about it. This goes away. And this goes away. And then this goes away. That was more of a, I added it because the problem. Oh, I didn't remove it from the interface. I added it because just like completeness, because you think of a video player, it has those features. So if I hit play and I go 25x, there we go. Pause works, play works, at least for the first video. Now where it gets interesting is like, okay, well, what happens when we get to the end of the first video? Well, first of all, can I seek? No. Seeking does not work. So let's implement that. There's going to be some stuff where what we are going to want to do, I think there's a couple paths. One path is where we seek beyond the current video to like one of the other videos. That should like work, right? Because if we just using get media item for time with the playhead time gets us the right media item. The issue is that by doing that, oh yeah, maybe we do need a separate seek to here. Yeah. Yeah, we do. Video ended. There you go. And then function handle seek to. It's a little bit more complicated than just setting the playhead, because we need to do. What do we need to do in that case? Oh, right. So, when we're synchronizing the state of the video up here. This is only like setting this stuff when these things change. But there's another circumstance where all this stuff needs to be synchronized, which is when we move to another video, then all this stuff needs to be synced again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say const sync video state, and then all lives inside of here. And then yeah, so one of the things we're doing here is we're going to say sync video state when these things change. What don't you like about this? Interesting. I mean, this is literally the same thing as the thing I had before. But the lint doesn't understand that. Isn't that interesting? Explanation. At least I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's any magic that I'm not aware of that makes this different than just having the arrow function inside of here, and then we can use this. All right, so somehow, we have used another hour of time I'm gonna take a break here for just a couple minutes, stretch my legs, and I will be back. And we're gonna carry on this change to the video player.